Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we're all gonna have some fun while getting a little smarter. And we'll be doing so by answering questions. But these aren't just any questions, they're ones that have been developed for 13 years to make you feel smart. And it's by legendary game designer Richard Garfield, whose games include Magic the Gathering and King of Tokyo. And also by Jeopardy record holder Ken Jennings, who won 74 consecutive games of Jeopardy. But it's not just about betting on answers. For each question, half of the answers are correct. Can you bet on one? Or do you feel confident or lucky enough to bet on two or all three correct answers? If so, you'll be rewarded bonuses. But if you don't get all your bets right, you get nothing. Half Truth is a party game that makes you feel smart and where only half of the answers are true. It's for 3 to 6 players, ages 12 and up, takes 30 to 60 minutes to play. It's on Kickstarter right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works, and I'll see you on the other side. This is a Kickstarter preview, so these are prototype components, and some of the art is not final as well. To see all the final art and components, you're going to want to check the Kickstarter project page, and there's a link for that in the description of this video. Now the game is played over 3 different rounds, and as players are betting correctly on answering questions, they're going to be moving up this round track, and at the end of the round, they're going to be scoring points. Now each round is going to have multiple questions, and when a question comes out, it gets placed in the middle of the board like this, and it'll say like, is a state with no national parks? The die will be rolled, placed here, and this shows you how many spots you'll move up on that round tracker if you're successful. Now the cards here are prototype art because they have numbers on them. The final ones will not. They'll line up more like this, which really lines them up better with the board that I'm showing you. For example, 1 through 6 corresponds with A through F, but the final cards basically have them lined up so actually each of the answers lines up more with these letters. Now the game is called Half Truth for a reason. Half of the answers are true, and you're trying to figure out even just one of those. So if you can, it's a 50% chance of getting one right, which is cool, makes you feel smart. So in this case, you're going to bet whether you think you can get 1, 2, or all 3 of them right. But there's a trade-off there. Let's show you how this works. Everyone will secretly select which ones or one they think is true. And again, A through F in this case has to do with 1 through 6. Now once everyone's secretly selected their answers, everyone will reveal them and place them in the lined up letter. Then the card will be flipped over and we'll see what happens. So here are the truths: Oklahoma, New York, and Wisconsin. And again, in the final, this is going to line up more with these letters. This is really C, D, and E here. So let's look at each player. The red player bet once, and they bet on F, which would have been here, Oregon, and they were wrong, so they will not move up on the score track or the round tracker at all. Next, let's look at the purple player. They bet just once as well, and they bet on C, which was Oklahoma. They were correct. If you're correct, you move up this much on the round tracker, 3. And so they're going to go up 1, 2, 3 spots on that round tracker. Now let's look at the green player. They have 2 bets here. This is known as doubling up. How this works is if they get them both correct, in this case they did, C and E, it's Oklahoma and Wisconsin. If they get them both correct, not only do they get to move up where this die says, so 3 on the round tracker, they're going to get to go 3 as well right up here. Now, because they doubled up and they were correct on both of them, they'll get 1 single victory point. Now, this board here is where you actually track the points. Here's where you're tracking your rounds. You're going to be getting this many points depending on what you've passed once somebody gets to the end of the round, but we'll show you more about that later. Now let's look at the yellow player. They went C, D, F. They used 3 bets. This is the most you can do. They went all in. And they got one of them wrong because Oregon was not one. Because they didn't get all of them right, they get nothing. Now let's go to the pink player. They also went all in, but they got all 3 correct. So not only will they get to go up 3 on the round tracker, moving up with the others, they also get to go 2 on the victory point track because they went all in and got everything correct. And once everyone's been scored, they take back their betting markers and we would put a new question out. Like, is Route 66 on? And it has a bunch of states. Now there are a couple more twists in this game. Here we have the die and it says 1 plus. What this means is if you get correct, you're going to move up 1 on that round tracker. The plus means if you double up or go all in using 2 or 3 bets, you'll get an additional victory point each time, meaning if you successfully double up, you'll get 2 extra points instead of 1, and if you go all in, you'll get 3 extra points instead of just the 2, which means when the die is low like this with the 1+, it's a better idea to possibly press your luck or bet more than you normally would versus the larger ones, because if you get even 1 wrong with its 4, you get nothing, but if you get nothing here, well, you wouldn't have lost as much, you would have just lost 1. So the lower die, makes you kind of want to bet a little bit more. Now the other twist is this. This is called a half lie. Now what you're trying to do when this comes up is actually get the wrong answers, not the correct ones. It's sort of backwards. If you get it correct, you'll move up 2 on that round tracker, but you could still double up or go all in. If you double up, you need to get 2 wrong answers. If you go all in, you need to get all 3 wrong answers. And the scoring is still the same as before. If you double up correctly, you'll get 1 additional victory point. If you go all in correctly, you'll get 2 additional victory points. Now this continues until any one player's marker on the round tracker either gets to the end or would have passed it. In this case, the round ends and players are going to score on their victory points depending on where they are. For example, the purple player is going to get 7 points, the red and the green players are going to get 6 points, the yellow player 5, and the pink player 4. Then you'll get the round 2 board, put it here, and reset everybody. And if you'll notice, the first ones had 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 points. The second round, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And once you finish this round, the last one ups the stakes with 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So you can definitely come from behind with the round scoring. And at the end of the third round, whoever has the most points is the winner. And as you pass this 0 spot, you'll be putting markers here to see how many points you have. So let's let you play along. The question is a word that was once protected as a trademark? Elevator, gasoline, aspirin, toothpaste, trampoline, videotape. Now the die rolled is 4, which means if you get your bet correct, you'd go 4 up on that round tracker. But you could also try to double up or go all in as mentioned before, but if you don't get them all right, you get nothing. You wouldn't move this 4, so this one's a tough one unless you're really sure about doubling up or going all in. You might just want to bet for 1. So go ahead and pause the video here, think about it, make your answer, and I'll be right back. And the answers are aspirin, trampoline, and videotape. How'd you do? Did you bet on just 1 and go ahead 4? Did you miss 1 and go nowhere? Or did you try to double up and go all in and either get the extra victory points or not go anywhere at all? So let's try another one. The question is a ghost in the Harry Potter universe the short doorman, the gray lady, the swollen surgeon, the ugly prince, the fat friar, the bloody baron? Now the die rolled is 2, so it's a little more advantageous to possibly try to double up or go all in if you're feeling pretty confident. So go ahead and pause the video here, think about this, and I'll be back just in a moment to give you the answers. The answers are the gray lady, the fat friar, and the bloody baron. How'd you do? Did you just go for the 2 up on that track, or did you try to double up and go all in? If so, how'd you do? Let's try one last question. Is a Frito-Lay's Do Us a Flavor finalist? Cappuccino in 2014, Rosemary Yam in 2016, Greek Town Gyro in 2015, Bacon Triple Stack in 2015, Cooked Wasabi Ginger in 2014, and Peppered Earl Grey in 2016. Now we rolled a 1+, which means if you get your bet correct, you'll only go up 1 on that round tracker, but you're incentivized to double up or go all in because you'll get an additional victory point if you're successful. So go ahead and pause the video here, think about it, and I'll be right back. And the answers are Cappuccino 2014, Greek Town Gyro in 2015, and Cooked Wasabi Ginger in 2014. How'd you do? I actually think that chicken and waffles was a flavor that made a finalist one of the years. I remember tasting those chips and wishing they stuck around a while, but they didn't. Now we're not going to play through these ones, but I wanted to show you a handful of others just to give you a sense of the different types of questions in the game. Now keep in mind there's 500 different questions in the game. So we have questions like, is a discontinued breakfast cereal? Is in the top 10 US male dog names? Is a Crayola color that was renamed? Is a type of sword? Has been married more than 6 times? It is a nickname for one of the New York Yankees. So as you can see, there's a wide variety of types of questions, some that are very specific, some that are about pop culture, and some that are about general knowledge. Well, there you have Half Truth, and as I showed in the overview, it has a simple rule set that's easy to teach, but adds a dose of strategy with knowing when to bet on multiple answers and when to be more conservative. If you'd like to see all the final art and components and all the different pledge levels available, you can click the link below me in the description of this video and it will take you directly to the Kickstarter project page, and I'm sure that Richard Garfield and Ken Jennings would love your support.